the drone, Ben!
Not the droniest of drones. It's a pretty drone.
I'll take that arpeggio and roll with it.
Yeah, he's taught me new chords. Yeah.
We're just gonna have a jam and then we're gonna talk about these.
Nice
Hello,
one.
Welcome to Andertons TV. My name is Jet and I'm here with
Ben.
Another fist pump, man. That's the first time I've been brave enough to twiddle knobs with you.
I love twiddling bit of knobs.
They
Great.
almost
Lovely
touched, but
stuff.
they didn't. So
We're safe.
we're safe. We're safe. We can go home to our girlfriends tonight and feel none the more emasculated. Today, we got these two monsters of Moog, Moogie goodness. We're going to say Moog because we're British and we mean no offence.
Sorry.
I just can't get over it. It's cool. You work in the shop,
I do.
even though you've come in on a day off in his civvies.
In civilian
In
clothes,
his civilian clothes, non-synth clothes.
Yeah.
And I wanted to pose the question to you. Why would I buy the subsequent 37 from Moog, aka the sub 37, over the new grandmother? I don't want you to, and we're going to go on a voyage to see what the difference are, because my fires have been stoked by the grandmother, and I was pretty jealous that you had your mitts all over her. But I understand a little bit about this, but because you're so knowledgeable, just give you your take on it, as if you were in the store and you came in and asked Ben.
Well, there's different applications for both, but they totally cross over in loads of different ways. Same brand, all the heritage, very similar components, bringing that kind of family sound. I guess sub 37, if you're a super gigging performer like yourself, you've got presets on there. A little bit more versatile, but when we first had this over with the lovely Alex Theakston and the people from Source, I think you remarked how much it felt like a really instrumenty kind of playable synth. So it's got your arpeggiation, it's got sequencing in there, but it does have a really nice keyboard, so it's still a performance instrument, even though it doesn't have presets and it's got all these modular weirdnesses.
Yeah, so at a glance, that's it. Should we pick, because there are these core bits that keep coming up in terms of we do a synth, and so it's not all subjective. Should we try coax out some of the core? It would be nice for me to hear maybe just the oscillators in raw isolatione. Maybe I can even help.
Yeah, have them side by side, because while it's the same brand, lots of similarities in the circuits. This one's inspired by more vintagey stuff, whereas the Sub 37's got, I guess it's designs that have been iterated upon a bit more.
In its preset.
Presets.
So it's got a lot of glide on it. So that sounds to me like like a common all garden. Where are we? So again, that's one thing as a punter. Ben, I love all the colours on this, but as you're saying, maybe all the knobs here allude to a higher level of functionality, right?
They totally do. There are some really weird things you can do because of the nature of the modular stuff.
But at its core, like again, let's go through these bits. Oscillators, I can see that one,
a lovely
two,
pair.
super simple. Here, having said that, again, if I can get over the fact that I must be like, if I don't see colours, I'm not interested. But here we are, we've got the 2 oscillators here, so they both share 2 oscillators, right?
Yep, that one does have a sub, which is an extra bit of tidbit in there, which is nice.
Wicked. So let's have a listen to, are you on the 8 footage? Are you in footage?
I am now.
And I have got mine over to the left, and what we could, just straight up saw, yeah?
Nice.
Straight up saw. That's your C, yeah? Here's my C.
Much of muchness, I suppose. What are we?
I tell you what, I'm gonna have a little look. I'm peaking at just under 15, so you could be a little bit hot. I mean, you're actually on the meters coming in a bit less.
In the room, Chris, do you hear a difference?
Yes.
It's a smidge.
What are you hearing?
I mean, I think I'm hearing from the grandmother more kind of top end sizzle, but the sub 37 is more like bottom end.
Sizzle. We do both have a lot of drive that we can find in the mixer. So if you absolutely crank the level of oscillator 1, I'll do the same.
Woo! Definitely a difference.
Yeah, even more. That's the thing that Alex was explaining when he was here because of all the circuit stuff they got in the mixer, the circuit designers from their super old, massive modular stuff.
Yeah.
That's where it happens.
Before I say anything, should we just combine 2 and I'm going to put this next one down at like 16?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really want to go any higher than that. Heft. I'm such a This is when you go into battle with a synth that Andre actually knows how to use it.
To be fair, it's more obvious if it's on or not on this one.
Oh, thanks, mate. Cheers. Right, hang on. What have I got going on here? I've got a sub on. Oscillator 2's on. Oscillator 2's on. That's on there.
This is hilarious synth battle. It's really fun.
There is a difference, though.
Yeah, because that's the sub 37 is like a roar, and the Moog is like a loud shout. You know?
Nice. I think that.
I hear it more when it's kind of played.
I mean, yeah. Again, that's man.
Filter sweep time.
Oh, should we go back to 1 os?
Yeah.
After you, sir. Again, I'm so... Do you know what I mean?
Take 2.
Thank you, mate. We don't do takes at Andertons. I'll just bear it in front of the world, but in front of the 14 people that are training. Give us a squelch on that. Definitely some rasp in there.
Yeah.
This is fun! Right, let's do it with our second oscillator in there, see how it... Because there's a bit more timbre.
Hang on, 16 feet.
And it just seems to be a bit of something about the grandmother. But
interesting, that little tiny something.
That's cool. I dig it. Maybe it's because the buttons look like Tutti Fruttis. Anyway,
we're Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah,
We're not stopping there. So they're the core like balls of it. But you said this one has a trick up its sleeve, which is the sub. So if I turn this bad boy on, you go back.
But I can do the same. I have
Secret
what I can do here.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Secret oscillator. Where's me? Bear with me. I'm gonna make it.
Do you know what I mean?
Ba.
Must be like.
Hang on.
And what you're doing there, if I'm right, is you can use the LFO as another oscillator, right?
That's what I'm attempting anyway, yeah. Incredible. That's just silly noise.
I'm getting into the synths, you know, because it's just.
Yes.
I'm getting into the synths. That's one note, but it's a sonic experience.
Totally, especially if it's loud.
Yeah, man, we got it pretty loud in here.
Yeah.
Screw it. That's how cool we are. DB is cool. Okay, all right. So that's what that sounds like, and we pushed the mixer, but this has got a multi-drive circuit, yeah?
Totally, that's where I'm out.
Oh, let's see what happens. I'm going to sweep up and then I'm going to engage the multi-drive. I'm getting a bit more of that sauce in there. Comes to the rescue, usals. I mean, again, we're talking about. There's no taste here. This is just how
balls.
big is your helmet?
Exactly.
Your big, swollen, synthy helmet. And I think they've both got beautiful helmets. We've all got different shapes, but you know.
Oh man.
I don't know why I've gone down a helmet thing. Maybe we should be wearing helmets because these sounds are so dangerous.
Disaster. One thing I do want to ask you actually is from that intro jam, it was obviously using the Sub 37 as a leady kind of instrument. I want to conjure up such a sound on here and see how you think they compare as a performance tool. Yeah, let's swap.
So okay, we're gonna do. Should we do like an edit, and should we do a high five into an edit? Let's high five. Oh shit!
Teleportation.
We swapped on this, and you're gonna try cook up some dronage.
Totally. Well, I'll probably just have to hold a note or something.
Rag and drone man.
Oh, dear me, Jack.
Okay. Feel free to mumble your process to the people.
I'm just making something less of a bass sound so you can lead over the top.
Such
Cool.
a wide
Give
variety.
give us some lead.
See, you don't even have to buy it. Where they fit in the spring reverb in the Sub 37? Who would have knew? It's a secret feature.
Must be in this corner somewhere.
It's an Easter egg.
Awesome fun.
Right, so what were you doing there to cook up a drone? Because on here, just tell me, what was that for you? Because I'm playing the same old pentatonic balls.
Yeah, so with that one, there's literally a switch. You can just drone the thing. So I was just holding on to a C because I'm not very musical and I don't know what I'm doing. I've just got a couple of oscillators. Just got an 8-foot.
Steve Hackett. Owner of a droney heart.
Sorry, wrong band.
Oh, sorry.
Genesis. You got any Genesis?
Sorry. I'm such a
Yeah, that's the only riffs I have.
Right, so let's get back on track with because they're fun. They are a nice little pairing together. But this is again, what if I could only take one? And we've got up to the filter section. We've gone through the mixers. Let's talk a bit about the filter. We've got one filter here with an envelope, only a 3. Well, we've got the 4 here with the sustain on this.
Yeah.
It just feels so nice. It's so clear, so visual. What more do I get filter-wise if I go for the Sub 37?
You've got dedicated filters for volume and playing around with the filter, which is kind of handy. You do actually have a hidden high pass just in your little utilities bit, which you can't do here. So that's an extra
Cool.
added thing. This is multi modes. We've got some more aggressive sounding ones and some gentler ones, depending on what you want to do.
In the slopes of the filters. So, right, cool.
Exactly. So one of each on there.
What have I got here?
You've got a high pass and a low pass.
But I can't change the slopes of them.
No,
They're
just
fixed.
what you got.
Right, cool. And that's the classic kind of 48. Is it 48 or 24?
It's 24 dB. What's that? Is that a 4-pole filter? I can't remember what the.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Down with the kids. No, it's good. It's me like trying to speak French to a French person. I'm like trying out my synth speak on Ben. So that's cool on the filters. You've got a lot more choice in there. Next step is modulation, right? That's what you're thinking in your brain. That's what I come to think about. Here I have a little glance modulation box.
Basically
pitch,
an LFO.
An LFO, but that LFO is the same architecture as one of the oscillators,
Exactly,
so you
yeah.
can hack it. Steve, hack it.
Hey, you got it! You brought it back.
Steve,
Nice
hack
one.
it. Even though I got the wrong band,
Yeah.
it took a while. I can get that in there, but then I've got no modulation.
You've got sample and hold as well, but that's your lot pretty much.
Right.
Whereas this one, you've got 2-hole modulators, which you can send to various places, have them going at the same time. Lots of cool stuff. Most exciting bit that the Sub has over the grandmother is this tiny little button hiding here.
Paraphonic the Hedgehog.
Puns. He's on with the puns today.
So sorry. I love how awkward it is when someone says a pun and it sucks.
Yeah, everyone's just silent.
Sucks the pun out of the room. Come on, let's get back. Yeah, but it's so big, especially because I love the droney stuff. So if I go, there you go, mate. All the white notes. Yeah, man.
Am I a musician, Jack?
That's it!
Whoa!
You're playing C, man. Just play all the white notes. That's all I was doing.
Yeah.
But where were we? That's a drone. This is the modulation. How does this? Now I'm thinking. Okay, so this has more options in terms of the amount of modulation and the amount of filters, the amount of choices. Does that become even more apparent when you're trying to maybe say you're feeling plush, and instead of buying like the grandmother or like the Neutron, which came out, these kind of it seems to be a trend to me that I'm seeing of like starter bits of kit for Eurorack. This is more like the guy that I've got to go do some gigs with this, or I want a centerpiece. How do these, I'm seeing insert points here, if I'm a Eurorack dude, for the these things for the patch cables. On here, what's going on? If I want to interface that to
You've got your standard MIDI, and if we hang around over here, we've got pitch, volume, and sort of keyboard control from the keyboard, so you can pipe stuff out to other modular bits.
But I can't say, for example, I've got my modules, I've got some oscillators that I put in my first Euro rack, and I've got like an effects thing, but I want to use these modulation sources. Can I do that?
Alas, no, you can't.
But on this bad boy, I could plumb it in and use this, right?
Exactly, just plug it in and you're away.
Woo. Okay, I'm playing devil's advocate here as well, because luckily at Andertons, we're not encouraged to sell anything. So I don't mind. I'm trying to get they're both amazing. You know, it's not like one's better than the other, but this seems like really good. Again, why would I spend the money now we looked at it? Would you, spit it out, Jack, if you had to take one home today, which one are you taking home?
I'd take that one, I'd give you this one. Partly because you're the gigging, performing guy, those presets would be handy for you.
That pitch bend and mob wheel is a joy.
Mm-hmm. And me as the modular nerd, I'm obviously going this way.
Okay, next step, modulation. This even has an effect in it.
It does.
Right? So
real life spring reverb.
That's where I was tapping it, just if I didn't. And when we put it in that drone mode, it just puts a lovely air around the sound.
It's really cool. It's really metallic, which is kind of that charm of the spring.
This is a cool bit of kit. Less keys, right?
Fewer keys and it's smaller.
So that's the big consideration. The next bit I was gonna say, we've done that. I just had an idea and I forgot about it. Oh, arpeggiators and sequencers.
We have them in both, which is pretty cool. It's not as sort of obvious that you've got it, because here there's a giant arpeggiator section. With this one, it's kind of hidden in sort of a smaller module over here. But you've got a couple of different modes for your arpeggiator. You've got 3 there.
So if I play a C minor.
There's like the order you played them, forward, backwards, and random.
Cool. That's kind of what I want on this bad boy.
With this one, let's have a look. Let's turn it on. You've got a lot more, so you got your sequencer stuff here as well, but you've got more options. You can do pendulum and stuff as well. Do all this kind of stuff. There's a tap tempo on there as well.
Tap tempo, that's cool. Especially if you're doing tunes like Hungry Like the Wolf. Sorry, just from personal memory, I can remember syncing things like that and some Who tunes where maybe you're not playing to a click, but you can play with arpeggiators because you've got that tap there. I like that a lot. Wait, I've got a tap here. Does that do it? I was just tapping it wrong. Cool, yeah, so that is working. That sequencer. This has got 16 things on the bottom, normally to me, and they got little lights on, right?
These are the presets actually on the bottom.
Right.
So because it's not one of those sort of graphically represented ones, I can't remember how many steps you've got in each. But unfortunately.
But here, this has got a sequencer, right?
Yeah. So you just got to kind of stick it in record mode.
And then I play the notes.
Yep.
And then
it doesn't work.
Anyway, they've both got sequences. If we knew about them, this is how pro we are. If we knew about these, which one do you think's got the edge? or do you look to these to sequence, or are you thinking now I'm a modular dude, I've got a good bit of kit that can do all this sequencing, or my DAW?
I think in most of these kind of things, unless it's a super in-depth sequencer, something that's more dedicated, it's more of let's chuck something in and play with the sounds.
Yeah.
I think that's most of the thing, unless you've got a big old MIDI connected rig where it's actually the sequencer is the song. But for me, most of the time it's using that just to have some movement while I'm tweaking sounds. Same thing with just holding onto an arpeggio or something.
Well,
Press the button, tweak.
Hopefully today, well, it's great. You went out on a limb and you said what you'd go for. Personally, it is hard. When I think about gigging with this, I think, I'd probably miss the keys. Like, especially I do like widdly, widdly, widdly. There's just enough space for the widdly woo. With this, it's a bit more limited. So if I was in my studio or creating, this does get my juices flowing. But if I had to execute maybe other parts or mimic other synths more,
totally.
This will eventually get you there. Anyway, I hope that's been a discussion. If you wanted to know about stuff, we've certainly discussed it at length.
And as we have.
Would you do the honours of having a synth? Should we have a little synth out at the end? Shall I stay here and you just kick off something?
Actually, no. I'm going to need your help. You can play along. Let me play a chord for you.
I'll dig that. Now it works.